Okay, so now we're doing brackets.
Yep.
And what do the brackets do?
So the brackets hold the inside panel to the outside panel. So the brackets are specific in that you want your grooves, these notches, you want those up because that's what holds the rebar. So they act as a rebar chair. If you do it this way, the rebar can slide around when you're pouring. This way we'll literally drop it right in this little U channel here and that's it. So what we do here is we've already got a couple. I typically go, well, here we have two pieces being held together. So what you want to do is you want to straddle it. And that's it. So that locks this piece to that piece. And from now on, I'll typically do 4 dots in between each bracket. That way it gives pretty consistent spacing for drywall guys. And all of them will be lined up on the whole wall that way. So just 4 in between each one.
And is this come with quad lock? Is this part of the quad lock
Yeah,
system?
this is kind of proprietary to them.
Other
ICF manufacturers will kind of have this built in, so it'll come as a pre-made block. Those are typically more expensive, but they also don't allow it to be very flexible in terms of cutting it like we just had to do, cut a filler piece in there. And see, that worked out with the 4 dots in between. It worked out to be straddling the 2 pieces again. So that's just kind of trial and error we've had over the years in terms of figuring out what the best one is. See, this one doesn't work with the outside. So we have to say, all right, we'll back this one up a little bit to make sure to get that straddle. I mean, we could go on and put it here. That'd be 2, 4, 6 in between. But I think I'd rather put an extra one in there for stability, as opposed to having a stretch longer than what we typically would like to see. So that locks the outside panel together. And as you can see, I mean, we've gone probably 8 feet now.
At 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yeah. So.
And so then the concrete's going to get poured inside here, right?
Yes.
Is that where that goes?
It'll get poured. So like I say, we'll pour from the outside first. We'll pour down in here and over there first and let that set up. And then we'll do the inside last. That way it'll have enough time to kind of cure and get a little bit hard, but not too hard. So we can not have it. What you don't want to have happen is if you try to pour it all at one time, then because these gaps are so big, the concrete would just start oozing out of there. So we don't want to have that happen.
And what do you like, what are the features you like best of the quad lock system?
I like these clips because it holds everything very straight and square. And then just the fact that there's only one, really, if you count the outside corners, there's 2 types of panels, and that's it. There's not, you know, you can get them in varying thicknesses in terms of, this is 3-inch foam. You can get it in 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch. I mean, you name it, you can get it in it. 3-inch gives the best bang for the buck in terms of the R value. R value versus cost.
So what's the R value going to be on this?
So the R value of this should be R39, I believe, on the outside walls. The roof will be R49, I believe.
And so what's with the regular stick built, with let's say the high end, you know, not spray foam insulation, but higher end insulation, what's a typical R value?
R19 is pretty common. Maybe you might get some that do the, you know, outside kind of foam board on the outside of the house to be in the low 20s, but.
And this is 39.
This is 39, and it shouldn't be again, you won't have your, they don't make any of the additional, if you stick build it, they don't make any of the additional measures around windows and doors like we do.
Okay.
Typically on this is where we would have one of the other guys come behind us and do this. So we would just keep laying foam out ahead of them.
Right. So essentially, it's this box was the most difficult part, right?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
The box, well, getting the elevation cut.
Yeah.
The box wasn't necessarily hard to build, obviously.
Sure.
It's just a box, but
just making sure you had all of the math right.
The math is definitely the trickiest part. We laughed the other day. We had about maybe 30 hours in of math and 6 hours of digging. So.
Well, you know what? What is that? Measure once.
Measure twice, cut first.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the way it goes.
You don't want to, you don't want to get that wrong. That's
right.
For sure, because once you pour this and you go up, by the time you figured out you did something wrong, it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
So then you've really got a mess on your hands. So we're kind of under the deal of we'd rather spend a little bit more time thinking and planning. You know, and other people may say, "Oh gosh, you guys are so anal about this stuff," and they're right. But
well, it
I'd rather
pays
be
off
anal and not have to do it twice.
Right.
So.
Right.
We're almost to the end of the wall.
And so Quad Lock is not paying for this. This is not an infomercial. This is my house. This is my house. So are there any other features of the Quad Lock that you like over others?
I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a very simple system. It's not, there's no rocket science to it. What we'll do here is our first run of rebar will be right on these channels, and you can see it laying down over there. We'll throw a 20 foot stick in there, and then start with our next one. So just to kind of give you an idea of how this works, obviously we're not going to go up on this pour with the wall, but you'll take the same, so this, like I said, it's adult size Legos. So we'll do that. And then you just basically line it up above your holes there. So you can see like you have your lines. And you should be able to match those lines anywhere.
Wow.
And it slides down on it. And then you'll do the same process that we just watched all the way up.
That's amazing.
So
how high are the walls? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I believe they're 10 foot.
10 foot? Okay.
Yeah. So typically you don't want to do, we've done it before, but it's not recommended. You don't really want to go more than 9 or 10 feet tall per pour, because it just gets really hard to get your agitator down in there to shake the concrete, because when you pour it, you agitate it, which shakes the bubbles out, so you don't have any air pockets in there. And it makes it really tough to get it down through the rebar and through the brackets. And so this will be 1 foot here, and then we'll probably go 9 foot on our next pour.
Okay.
So the next pour will take us to the top of the first floor walls.
Okay.
And then we'll do the gables on your two ends as a third pour.
Okay.
On top of that, and then we'll put the roof on. And
so we've been filming out here for like maybe 15 minutes. So in a typical stick build, and when we say stick build, we mean wood build. How much time would you estimate this would have taken?
It would have taken a while, because you'd have to put your base plates down. They would obviously have to chalk lines and all that stuff. And the good thing about the difference in stick building time-wise versus this is, they can put a wall up faster than we can, because they can lay the studs down, especially if you're getting pre-cut studs. Like a lot of them are pre-cut 9 foot, and they don't have to cut them off. So they can get it up, in a fraction of the time that we can, but they then have to put the board on the outside of the house. They have to do the Tyvek wrap all the way around. They have to put insulation on the inside.
Uh-huh.
We've just eliminated all those steps with this. So you
That's
can literally brick
amazing.
or hardy board right over top of the foam.
Okay.
And then the inside, we're just going to drywall right to the foam.
Right.
So
Right.
we've cut a lot of steps out. So people say, oh, it's a lot slower. And in theory, yeah, it's a lot slower in terms of getting the wall up. But we've cut out a lot of steps.
Exactly.
You know, because like this house here will be probably all the walls will be up in the matter of a couple weeks.
Wow.
So that shouldn't be. The hardest part on the next phase is all the openings. And there's a lot of
the windows.
a lot of windows on this
Got
house.
a lot of light in this house.
Yeah. So that's going to be the trickiest part for us. But again, most of that will be established on the next 2 rows, maybe
Okay.
3 rows. And after it's established, you know, it's already, the opening's already squared up, because we'll
Yeah.
build like a wooden box. Think of like what we have on the ground. We'll flip that up and that'll be in a window.
Okay.
And then we'll just foam up to it. And when we pour, we'll just take the wood out to where you don't have, there's literally no wood on the exterior of this house anywhere. So there's no termite possibility.
There you go.
No nothing. So the
Mold?
windows, no mold. Nope.
Yep.
The windows will actually bolt or screw right into the concrete. So, and then the foam will be around it. And
That's where all your leaks are mostly
Yeah.
for, you know, and that's another energy efficient
right.
way to build. And we'll be out here hopefully filming that too. So there you go. There's the first installation. And what you can't tell on video is there is a dead deer across the way. And it
It stinks really bad.
So Brian's doing a yeoman job in horrible conditions.